I am a little late today, just a little bit. Um, I slept through my alarm, so I apologize for that. But I am here now, and I'm so grateful for each and every one of you that is on here today. I thank you for those who have been supporting me throughout this journey. We are almost done with Genesis. I'm going to go ahead, say my prayer, and we are going to get right into it. So, Lord, I just thank you for this day. Thank you, Lord, for waking us up this morning. I pray, Lord, that you bless each and every person who watches this live, who tunes in. And Lord, I just pray, God, that you touch their hearts, God. Anyone who's trying to get closer to you, Lord, I pray, Lord, that this helps them get closer to you, Lord. I know sometimes it's hard to find the time to read and study the word. So Lord, I pray, God, that this be a blessing to someone who's trying to get closer to you. And Lord, I just pray, Lord, that you bless each and every person that joins. I thank you for all those who watch the repeat of it. And I just pray, Lord, that you bless them today. And in Jesus' name, we're going to get started. Thank God and amen. So we left off on chapter 33, so Genesis 33, and we will read for half an hour, and I pray that this is a blessing to someone. Jacob looked up and saw Esau approaching with 400 men. Jacob divided the children among Leah, Rachel, and the two women servants. He put the servants and their children first, Leah and her children after them, and Rachel and Joseph last. He himself went in front of them and bowed to the ground 7 times as he was approaching his brother. But Esau ran to him, threw his arms around his neck, kissed him, and they wept. Esau looked up and saw the women and children and said, "Who are these with you?" Jacob said, "The children that God generously gave your servant." The women servants also came forward and bowed, and afterward Joseph and Rachel came forward and bowed. Esau said, "What's the meaning of this entire group of animals that I met?" Jacob said, "To ask for my master's kindness." Esau said, "I already have plenty, my brother. Keep what's yours." Jacob said, "No, please, do me the kindness of accepting my gift. Seeing your face is like seeing God's face, since you've accepted me so warmly. Take this present that I've brought because God has been generous to me, and I have everything I need." So Jacob persuaded him, and he took it. Esau said, "Let's break camp, great, let's break camp and set out, and I'll go with you." But Jacob said to him, "My master knows that the children aren't strong, and that I am responsible for the nursing flocks and cattle. If I push them hard for even one day, all the flocks will die. My master, go on ahead of your servant, but I've got to take it easy, going only as fast as the animals in front of me and the children are able to go, until I meet you in Seir." Esau said, "Let me leave some of my people with you." But Jacob said, "Why should you do this, since my master has already been so kind to me?" That day Esau returned on the road to Seir, but Jacob traveled to Succoth. He built a house for himself, but made temporary shelters for his animals. Therefore he named the place Succoth. Jacob arrived safely at the city of Shechem in the land of Canaan on his trip to Padan Aram, and he camped in front of the city. He bought the section of the field where he pitched his tent from the sons of Hamor, Shechem's father, for 100 kesetas. Then he set up an altar there and named it El Elo Israel. Dinah, the daughter whom Leah had borne to Jacob, went out to meet the women of that country. When Shechem, the son of the Hivite Hamor, and the country's prince saw her, he took her, slept with her, and humiliated her. He was drawn to Dinah, Jacob's daughter. He loved the young woman and tried to win her heart. Shechem said to his father Hamor, "Get this girl for me as my wife." Now Jacob heard that Shechem defiled his daughter Dinah, but his sons were with the animals in the countryside. So he decided to keep quiet until they got back. Meanwhile, Hamor, Shechem's father, went out to Jacob to speak with him. Just then Jacob's sons got back from the countryside. When they heard what had happened, they were deeply offended and very angry, because Shechem had disgraced Israel by sleeping with Jacob's daughter. Such things are simply not done. Hamor said to them, "My son Shechem's heart is set on your daughter. Please let him marry her. Arrange marriages with us. Give us your daughters and take our daughters for yourselves. Live with us. The land is available to you. Settle down, travel through it, and buy property in it." Shechem said to Dinah's father and brothers, "If you approve of me, tell me what you want, and I will give it to you. Make the bride price and marriage gifts as large as you like, and I will pay whatever you tell me. Then let me marry the young woman." Jacob's sons responded deviously to Shechem and his father Hamor, because Shechem defiled their sister Dinah. They said to them, "We can't do this, allowing our sisters to marry uncircumcised men, because it's disgraceful to us. We can only agree to do this if you circumcise every male as we do. Then we will give our daughters to you, and we will take your daughters for ourselves. We will live with you and be one people. But if you don't listen to us and become circumcised, we will take our daughter and leave." Their idea seemed like a good one to Hamor and Hamor's son Shechem. The young man didn't waste any time doing this because he liked Jacob's daughter so much. He was more respected than anyone else in his father's household. Hamor and his son Shechem went to their city's gate and spoke to the men of their city. "These men want peace with us. Let them live in the land and travel through it. There's plenty of land for them. We will marry their daughters and give them our daughters. But the men will agree to live with us and become one people only if we circumcise every male just as they do. Their livestock, their property, and all of their animals, won't they be ours? Let's agree with them and let them live with us." Everyone at the city gate agreed with Hamor and his son Shechem, so every able-bodied male in the city was circumcised. On the third day, when they were still in pain, two of Jacob's sons and Dinah's brothers, Simeon and Levi, took their swords, came into the city, which suspected nothing, and killed every male. They killed Hamor and his son Shechem with their swords, took Dinah from Shechem's household, and left. When Jacob's sons discovered the dead, they looted the city and had defiled their sister. They took their flocks, their cattle, and their donkeys, whether in the city or in the fields nearby. They carried off their property, their children, and their wives. They looted the entire place. Jacob said to Simeon and Levi, "You've put me in a danger by making me offensive to those who live here in the land, to the Canaanites and to the Perizzites. I have only a few men. They may join forces, attack me, and destroy me and my household." They said, "But didn't he treat our sister like a prostitute?" God said to Jacob, "Get up, go to Bethel, and live there. Build an altar there to the God who appeared to you when you ran away from your brother Esau." Jacob said to his household and to everyone who was with him, "Get rid of the foreign gods you have with me. Clean yourselves and change your clothes. Then let's rise up and go to Bethel so that I can build an altar there to the God who answered me when I was in trouble and who has been with me wherever I've gone." So they gave Jacob all the foreign gods they had, as well as the rings in their ears. And Jacob buried them under the terebinth at Shechem. When they set out, God made all the surrounding cities fearful, so that they didn't pursue Jacob's son. Jacob and all of the people with him arrived in Luz, otherwise known as Bethel, in the land of Canaan. He built an altar there. Ooh, got my Bible. He built an altar there and named the place El Bethel, because God had revealed himself to him there when he ran away from his brother. Rebekah's nurse Deborah and was buried at Bethel under the oak, and Jacob named it Elon Bakuth. God appeared to Jacob again while he was on his way back from Padan Aram and blessed him. God said to him, "Your name is Jacob, but your name will be Jacob no longer. No, your name will be Israel." And he named him Israel. God said to him, "I am El Shaddai. Be fertile and multiply. A nation, even a large group of nations, will come from you. Kings will descend from your own children. The land I gave to Abraham and to Isaac, I give to you. And I will give the land to your descendants after you." Then God ascended, leaving him alone in the place where he spoke to him. So Jacob set up a sacred pillar, a stone pillar, at the place God spoke to him. He poured an offering of wine on it and then poured oil over it. Jacob named the place Bethel, where God spoke to him. They left Bethel, and when they were still some distance from Ephrath, Rachel went into hard labor. During her difficult labor, the midwife said to her, "Don't be afraid, you have another son." As her life faded away, just before she unalived, she named him Ben-Oni, but his father named him Benjamin. Rachel died and was buried near the road to Ephrath, that is, Bethlehem. Jacob set up a pillar on her grave. It's the pillar on Rachel's tomb that's still there today. Israel continued his trip and pitched his tent farther on near the Tower of Eder. While Israel stayed in that place, Reuben went and slept with Bilhah, his father's secondary wife, and Israel heard about it. Jacob had 12 sons. The sons of Leah were Reuben, Jacob's oldest son, and Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, and Zebulun. The sons of Rachel were Joseph and Benjamin. The sons of Bilhah, Rachel's servant, were Dan and Naphtali. The sons of Zilpah, Leah's servant, were Gad and Asher. These were Jacob's sons, born to him in Padan Aram. Jacob came to his father Isaac at Mamre, that is, Kiriath Arba. This is Hebron, where Abraham and Isaac lived as immigrants. At the age of 180 years, Isaac took his last breath and died. He was buried with his ancestors after a long, satisfying life. His sons Esau and Jacob buried him. These are the descendants of Esau, that is, Edom. Esau married Canaanite women: Ada, the daughter of the Hittite Elon, Aholibamah, the daughter of Anah, son of the Hittite Zibeon, and Basemath, the daughter of Ishmael and sister of Nebaioth. Ada gave birth to Eliphaz for Esau. Basemath gave birth to Reuel, and Ohilibamah gave birth to Jeush, Jalam, and Korah. These are Esau's sons born to him in the land of Canaan. Esau took his wives, his sons, his daughters, and everyone in his household, and his livestock, all of his animals, and all of the property he had acquired in the land of Canaan. And he moved away from the land of Canaan and from his brother Jacob. They had so many possessions that they couldn't live together. The land where they lived as immigrants couldn't support all of their livestock. So Esau, that is Edom, lived in the mountains of Seir. These are the descendants of Esau, the ancestor of Edom, which lies in the mountains of Seir. They are the names of Edom's sons: Eliphaz, son of Esau's wife Adah; Reuel, son of Esau's wife Basemath. Eliphaz's sons were Teman, Omar, Zepho, Gatam, and Kenaz. Timnah was the secondary wife of Eliphaz, Esau's son, and she gave birth to Amalek for Eliphaz. These are the sons of Esau's wife Adah. These are Reuel's sons: Nahath, Zerah, Shema, and Mizah. These are the sons of Esau's wife Basemath. These are the sons of Esau's wife Ohobilmah, the daughter of Anna, Zibeon's son. She gave birth to Esau, Jeush, Jalam, and Korah. These are the tribal chiefs from Esau's sons: the sons of Eliphaz, Esau's oldest son, Chief Teman, Chief Omar, Chief Zepho, Chief Kenaz, Chief Korah, Chief Gatam, and Chief Amalek. These are the tribal chiefs of Eliphaz in the land of Edom. They are Adah's sons. These are the sons of Reuel, Esau's son: Chief Nahath, Chief Zerah, Chief Shema, and Chief Mizah. These are the tribal chiefs of Reuel in the land of Edom. They are the sons of Esau's wife Basemath. These are the sons of Esau's wife: Chief Jeush, Chief Jalam, and Chief Korah. They are the tribal chiefs of Esau's wife and daughter of Anna. These are the sons of Esau, who is Edom, and these are the tribal chiefs. These are the sons of Seir, the Horite, who live in the land: Lodan, Shobal, Zibeon, Anna, Dishan, Ezer, and Dishan. These are the Horite tribal chiefs, Seir's sons, in the land of Edom. Lotan's sons are Hori and Heman, and Lotan's sister was Timah. These are Shobal's sons: Alvan, Manahath, Ebal, Shepho, and Onam. These are Zibeon's sons: Aiah and Anah. Anah is the one who found water in the desert while pasteurizing his father Zibeon's donkeys. These are Anah's children, Dishan and Anah's daughter. These are Dishan's sons: Hemdan, Eshban, Ithran, and Cheran. These are Ezer's sons: Bilhan, Zavin, and Achan. These are Dishan's sons: Uz and Aran. These are the Horite tribal chiefs: Lotan, Shobal, Zimeon, Anah, Dishan, Ezer, and Dishan. These are the Horite tribal chiefs listed according to their chiefs in the land of Seir. These are the kings who ruled in the land of Edom before a king ruled over the Israelites. Bela, Beor's son, ruled in Edom. His city's name was Dinhaba. After Bela died, Jobab, son of Zerah from Basra, became king. After Jobab died, Husham from the land of the Temanites became king. After Husham died, Hadad, Bedad's son, who defeated Midian in the countryside of Moab, became king. His city's name was Avith. After Hadad died, Samlah from the Masrekah became king. After Samlah died, Shaul from Rehoboth on the river became king. After Shaul died, Baal-Hanan, Akbor's son, became king. After Baal-Hanan, Hadar became king. His city's name was Paul, and his wife's name was Mehetabel, the daughter of Matred and granddaughter of Mezahab. These names, whew, turn my page here. And all right. These are the names of Esau's tribal chiefs according to their families, their locations, and their names. Chief Timnah, Chief Alva, Chief Jetheth, Chief Mibzar, Chief Magdiel, and Chief Iram. These are Edom's tribal chiefs according to their settlements in the land they possessed. This is Esau, the ancestor of the Edomites. Jacob lived in the land of Canaan where his father was an immigrant. This is the account of Jacob's descendants. Joseph was 17 years old and tended the flock with his brother. While he was helping the sons of Bilhah and Zelpha, his father's wives, Joseph told their father unflattering things about them. Now Israel loved Joseph more than any of his other sons because he was born when Jacob was old. Jacob had made for him a long robe. When his brothers saw that their father loved him more than any of his brothers, they hated him and couldn't even talk nicely to him. Joseph had a dream and told it to his brothers, which made them hate him even more. He said to them, "Listen to this dream I had. When we were binding stalks of grain in the field, my stalk got up, stood upright, while your stalks gathered around it and bowed down to my stalk." His brothers said to him, "Will you really be our king and rule over us?" So they hated him even more because of the dreams he told them. Then Joseph had another dream and described it to his brothers. "I've just dreamed again, and this time the sun and the moon and 11 stars were bowing down to me." When he described it to his father and brothers, his father scolded him and said to him, "What kind of dreams have you dreamed? Am I and your mother and your brothers supposed to come and bow down to the ground in front of you?" His brothers were jealous of him, but his father took careful note of the matter. Joseph's brothers went to tend their father's flocks near Shechem. Israel said to Joseph, "Aren't your brothers tending the sheep near Shechem? Come, I'll send you to them." And he said, "I'm ready." Jacob said to him, "Go, find out how your brothers are and how the flock is, and report back to me." So Jacob sent him from the Hebron valley. When he approached Shechem, a man found him wandering in the field and asked him, "What are you looking for?" Joseph said, "I'm looking for my brothers. Tell me, where are they tending the sheep?" The man said, "They left here. I heard them saying, 'Let's go to Dothan.'" So Joseph went after his brothers and found them in Dothan. They saw Joseph in the distance before he got close to them, and they plotted to unalive him. The brothers said to each other, "Here comes the big dreamer. Come on now, let's kill him and throw him into one of the cisterns, and we'll say a wild animal devoured him. Then we will see what becomes of his dreams." When Reuben heard what they said, he saved him from them, telling them, "Let's not take his life." Reuben said to them, "Don't spill his blood. Throw him into this desert cistern, but don't lay a hand on him." He intended to save Joseph from them and take him back to his father. When Joseph reached his brothers, they stripped off Joseph's long robe, took him and threw him into the cistern, an empty cistern with no water in it. When they sat down to eat, they looked up and saw a caravan of Ishmaelites coming from Gilead, with camels carrying sweet resin, medicinal resin, and fragrant resin on their way down to Egypt. Judah said to his brothers, "What do we gain if we kill our brother and hide his blood? Come on, Let's sell him to the Ishmaelites. Let's not harm him because he's our brother. He's family." His brothers agreed. When some Midianite traders passed by, they pulled Joseph up out of the cistern. They sold him to the Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of silver, and they brought Joseph to Egypt. When Reuben returned to the cistern and found that Joseph wasn't in it, he tore his clothes. Then he returned to his brothers and said, "The boy is gone, and where can I go now?" His brothers took Joseph's robe, slaughtered a male goat, and dipped the robe in the blood. They took the long robe, brought it to their father, and said, "We found this. See if it's your son's robe or not." He recognized it and said, "It's my son's robe. A wild animal has devoured him. Joseph must have been torn to pieces." Then Jacob tore his clothes, put a simple mourning cloth around his waist, and mourned for his son for many days. All of his sons and daughters got up to comfort him, but he refused to be comforted, telling them, "I'll go to my grave mourning my son." And Joseph's father wept. Meanwhile, the Midianites had sold Joseph to the Egyptians, to Potiphar, Pharaoh's chief officer, commander of the royal guard. And I'm going to end there today because the next chapter is a little bit longer. So I just want to thank you all for joining me this morning. If you missed the beginning of it, or if you missed or just want to listen to it, I know this chapter was a lot of names and just kind of history, historical like background of all the tribes, but definitely check me out over on YouTube. I will be reposting it, and usually I'm on here at 6 a.m. every day live. So maybe on the weekends I'll go live at 7 just so that I can get a little bit of rest. I thank you for everyone who has commented and shared and liked. I really appreciate each of you. And again, just check me out over on YouTube if you want to watch the replay. And that is it for today. I pray you all have an amazingly blessed day. And until next time, be blessed and be the reason someone smiles. Bye.